Alright guys, welcome back, and this right here is day number 6 of my Halloween marathon, where I am covering one game a day all the way up to Halloween. And today I'm going to be talking about Master of Darkness. Never heard of it? Yeah, I don't blame you. This game came out in 1993, well after the 8-bit market had winded down with the emergence of the 16-bit console. But basically this title here was Sega's answer to Castlevania for the 8-bit machine, the Master System. Now, thanks to Nintendo and their illegal monopoly back in the late 80s, Sega's NES counterpart had very little third-party support. So the company Sims released this title on the Master System and the Game Gear to fit that little Castlevania vacuum that they had. And that's fine, there's nothing wrong with giving gamers a Castlevania clone to enjoy. And make no mistake about it, this is heavily inspired by Castlevania. Now, the game is broken up into 5 stages, each one with 3 areas, and the final boss being in that 3rd area. Now, the stages that you travel through are the Thames River, or is it Thames? Sorry if I mispronounced that. The House of Wax, some sort of a cemetery, a laboratory, which is kind of like a really cool area, and finally Dracula's castle. Now, the main character is a guy named Ferdinand Social. Ferdinand Social. Just let that sink in for a few seconds. Yeah, they couldn't come up with any other better name than that, really? And to top it off, the guy is a psychologist that plays the Ouija board and is trying to is actually trying to solve some murders thought to be caused by Jack the Ripper. Yes, that Jack the Ripper. Now, the story is a little out there, but eventually it's just basically to get Dracula resurrected. I mean, regardless of what the story is and what you think about it, you gotta ask yourself, I mean, does this game warrant a playthrough? And I think it does. I mean, it has tight controls, the levels are not too long, where they become too repetitive and boring, and they all have a pretty good level of difficulty. Look at that, hidden item in walls. Never seen that one before. And instead of candles, you got these scary looking floating masks scattered about the levels. You can wield a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. Grabbing any of the two automatically switches you to the new weapon that you just picked up. Now, the main bosses in the game are not really supernatural in nature, other than Dracula. I mean, you do go up against Jack the Ripper, a girl who is possessed by some type of a skull spirit, which I thought was a pretty unique and cool looking boss. A guy named Count Mason, which you eventually fight twice, and finally the legendary Fangtooth Vamp himself, Dracula. Now, the game has some great gameplay, I'm not gonna lie to you, coupled with some great level designs filled with lots of colors and small details. I mean, look at the small flyer posted on the wall here, slowly fluttering in with the wind. I mean, these little details are what make this game really cool. Now, I found this game fun and felt a bit disappointed that it took me until 2010 to find out about it. That's when I first played it. Well, at least Sega got the box cover right, because let's just face it, Sega could not do good cover art. Again, there's nothing wrong in being a clone of a great game. It's when the clone is a bad port. That is not the case here. So that right there is Master of Darkness for the Sega Master System. Great game, check it out. This is one of those games that I do recommend playing, at least once. So be back tomorrow for day number 7, when I will be talking about a great TurboGrafx game that is perfect to play during the Halloween season. Until then, just ignore that noise coming from under the bed. Just don't look under the bed. Just don't.